Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm Funky Like Feathers. If you're new here, don't worry, you're not alone. Let's just forget the bags under my eyes. I've been up since 2 a.m. Okay. If you haven't seen me in a while, it's because I haven't been here. I took quite a bit of time off. So yeah, I haven't recorded a video since NaNoWriMo of last year, which means November, in case you're of the normal population. So yeah, here we are. We are back. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna be talking about reading journals and my plight on trying to find one. Now, when it comes to reading journals, there are a ton of different things you can do. Some people make them out of bullet journals and they make them very intricate, and there are tons of customizable pages and there's tons of logging to do, and you can, track what kind of genres and how many pages and all sorts of things. I am extremely simple when it comes to that. I have two different kinds of reading journals that I'm going to attempt to keep and maintain. One is just going to be off of this blank journal here. It's Exceed, in case it's just a soft bound notebook that I found. I got this from Walmart. It is larger than the regular bullet journal. So let me get my. So this is the size of a regular journal. This is the size of a regular bullet journal, and then this is the notebook that I'm going to be using. So you can see it is a little bit larger. It's not as big, but I will be able to have more space in here to write. The pages are lined, and there are the ribbon bookmark thingies. So I've got printouts of some of the books that I've read so far this year, which is quite a few because it's already January. So I've got like the cover art and stuff. So I figure I will put a picture of the cover that I've read and then put some stats about the book. Once I kind of put some stats about the book next to the cover art, then I'll kind of write a little paragraph about my feelings about the book and my thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So that's what my blank journal is for. However, I saw this other reading journal that looked pretty stinking awesome. I mean, this took a lot of research, you guys. I looked at so many different reading journals, it's not even funny. Like, and sitting there and trying to see if there were pictures of them and seeing if people had taken pictures of the pages so I could see what I was getting into and if everything was gonna be the same or if everything was just printed and if it was in color or if it was only in black and white, because I'm very color oriented in case you can't tell. So I finally found one. And it came in today. You wanna see what I got? Okay. Scissors. All right, let's do this. So, you wanna see which reading journal I got? I'm really excited about this actually, because another booktuber actually created this book journal, or this reading journal, I should say. And I'm really excited because it's beautiful and it has my favorite color, in case you can't tell what my favorite color is. It's A Clockwork Reader. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is actually made by Hannah. And her name's on the back. Oh, glare. So her name and everything's on the back. This is Hannah. I found this listed on Amazon. I found it at Barnes & Noble. It runs about $25 and you can log like 100 books in here. I'm so stoked about this. So let me take the shiny wrapper off. Dun, dun, dun. Now, of course, I use Goodreads. If you're not using Goodreads, goodness gracious, how do you track what you read? I love being able to see just how far along in a book I am, and then there's like the to-do list of your current reads on the side. So I really appreciate that. However, keeping track of my reviews of a book, and especially because the reviews are public, because all of my Goodreads reviews are public, there are some that I don't want to release on Goodreads until after I talk about them on here or on my Patreon. So by having it written down, I can actually keep track of my reviews and my thoughts and feelings about a book without publicizing it before I choose to, if that makes sense, right? Now, here's the other thing. I also just really like tracking my books. And last year, I printed out, like a very small picture of the books that I was reading and then put them in my bullet journal for every month. But at the end of the year, I also like to take a picture of all of the books that I've read. But this is really cool because it allows me to track 100 books in one, journal and be able to have the whole year at one glance. Now, will all of my books fit in here this year? That's what we have to wait to find out. I've already read, how many books have I read so far? Hold on. Let's open the bullet journal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've already read 8 books so far this year. So I've got a few pages to fill in. Now, the cool thing about this reading log is that it leads you through some information about the books. So let me just walk you through. So I'm so excited, it's so pretty. It says A Clockwork Reader. Now, Hannah did a lot of handwritten things in here. So all of the illustrations, you can tell that she did them by hand, and everything's colored and everything, so it's not all black and white. It's very cool. Like, favorite books. You can see she hand drew all of this and colored it. And so it's really cool because it's kind of nice to kind of keep track of some of these different things. So instead of just having trackers that are charts and things like that, it's really nice to have it more free form. And so you can see she's got stats, goals, stuff like that. And it's all, it's just just so pretty. Now, this is one thing that will probably fill up fast, but the to be read. Now, it's not just these 2 pages. There's more. She knows that we tend to make a very large TBR pile because she is an avid reader, right? So there's a lot of stuff in here. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, here's what a book log kind of looks like, the page, right? So the spread is 2 pages long. Right now on this side, she's got title, and you can also say what format the book was in. So if it was audiobook, you can also say who the narrator was. So if you find yourself really liking a certain narrator for audiobooks, and then also, if you read it in Kindle versus physical format, the stars are nice and big, so it's not kind of hidden anywhere. You can tell immediately when you go to a spread whether or not you actually liked that book. And then she's got some general questions about the book. What is your favorite quote? Where were you when you read this book? The most memorable scene? Would you recommend this book and why? And what did you learn from this book? And then she has a good amount of open space. So this is kind of where you can either draw something from the cover art. You can, be as creative as you want. You can just write there if you want. It doesn't matter. It's your space to utilize. But again, because I'll be using the regular notebook to kind of write more about my thoughts, and especially because, as an editor, I have different kinds of thoughts about books as opposed to just kind of an overall. I know that there's going to be certain things like style-wise that I notice about a writer and things like that I'll end up writing in my review. So I want to be able to keep track of that. We've got favorite quotes. Right, and again, just look at all the little drawings. Now, okay, so here's the other thing. I love the drawings that people do in their bullet journals and everything. It's just that, let's accept it here. I'm not patient enough to do that. I don't want to say not talented enough, because I know that I can draw things, okay? I'm just not patient enough. I know that I don't take my time. I don't plan ahead for that kind of stuff. So the fact that it's already put together, I very much appreciate. The fact that it looks like it was hand done, even more appreciate that, right? I just think this is so cool. I'm so excited. Then we've got the little bungee there to keep it all closed. The one thing I would like to see on actually, there's 2 things. Hannah, there are 2 things I would like to see on this. Okay. For the next round, you did amazingly well. I love the layout of this. The 2 things I would like to see. 1, the ribbon bookmark to kind of keep our place wherever we are, right, in the book. Okay, that's 1. 2, maybe an optional thing. A thing to hold your pen on the side. I can just see me getting lost with a pen. Does that make sense? The really fun part about this is that since I use purple pens, this will literally be an amazing combination of green and purple, which will be very fun. But there is like copper rose gold details in here. Look how pretty that is. So it's so pretty. I mean, just stunning. There's a little butterfly and a dragonfly on the front, and then on the back you've got some ladybugs. Something else would be kind of cool is if we had something optional to put what year this went with. So, you know, and what happens with a lot of reading journals is that people have them dated or broken down by month. And with this, it's not dated, so you can kind of start it whenever. Now, for my blank notebook that I'll be putting together, I can put the dates that I read everything based on how I logged it on Goodreads. So again, I like having Goodreads there, but I really want, I mean, you know, as a book lover, I want it in a book. So I wanted to be able to kind of compile the information and, you know, my book reviews together in an actual notebook to be able to look through them. Because of course, you know, when you keep bullet journals and all these kinds of trackers and things, it's kind of nice to be able to flip through it. And there's something about the handwritten words that is just so nice. And I love so many of these book journals that people are coming out with or creating on their own. I'm not that cool, you guys. You know, plus, I mean, I ain't got time for that. I'm busy reading. So it's stuff like that, right? I mean, we all have things that we like to do. I am just so excited about having this all put together. It is about an inch thick, right? So it'll take some decent space on your shelf, which is kind of cool. But like I said, maybe have like reading journal. I don't know. Am I wrong for saying that? This holds 100 reviews. Last year, that would not have held all of my books. Do I kind of want to get another one and fill it out with my books from last year? Maybe. That sounds like a really cool project. Is that time consuming? Absolutely. I could listen to books on audio while I did that, possibly. But, you know, in the meantime, see, here's the reading journal, and then here's the one that I'm going to be putting together by myself. And see how different the thicknesses are. So yeah, I mean, it's a great standard size. Now people wonder about this, the size of notebooks and purses, about whether or not they fit in a purse. Spoiler alert, I don't carry a purse. I carry a backpack. Okay, you know, posture reasons, very top heavy, leaning to one side to hold a purse, not so great for your back. So I carry a backpack, balances me out nicely. Will this fit in a backpack? Absolutely. Will this fit in a backpack? Very easily. So I don't have to worry so much about portability of these. I will most likely be kind of keeping them at home. Am I ecstatic that the verbiage at the top of the for the reviews is all in lowercase? Not so much, Anna. Not so much. They should be capitalized, but you know, that's just an editor talking. So I am very excited about this. This is one of those no nonsense things where you have that handmade feel without having to actually do it yourself. So that's very exciting. In the meantime, I'm going to get started on these. Now, I mentioned my Patreon before. If you're not over on Patreon, go over and check it out. Funky Like Feathers over there. I've got tons of cool stuff over there, especially if you're into NaNoWriMo and writing. Other than that, I do post a lot of reading and book-related stuff on there. So lots of cool stuff over there. And of course, on Facebook, on Instagram, if you've got a project that you need edited or if you want some kind of editorial feedback on it, you know, I'm the one. Yeah, I'm here. Let's get your project started. All right. If you did NaNoWriMo and you're ready for the editing process, Funky Like Feathers, I'm here to help you edit your project. All right. Tons of different kinds of editing, of course, but that's a different video. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started on these reading journals. I will give you guys an update to let you know how I did. And if you're over on my Patreon, you can actually see the videos of behind the scenes of me putting these puppies together. All right. So I will see you guys over there. I hope y'all are having a great week, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, you guys.